Big. Oh my god.
It's too much. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Energy Hill Family Talks. We are here Tuesday with Lisa and Natalie, here to talk to you guys about the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics, Summer Olympics Games. The logos have been released. We've done a lot of stuff like this, and you can see it on our website. You can see it on the rest of our YouTube doing logo, uniforms. We've done uniforms, we've done brands, just kind of looking over and getting a take from some design perspective. I'm not a designer, but both of these two have education in design. They do design every single day. So, we're going to sit here and talk about these interesting 26 logos for Los Angeles 2028 Games. Just to start us off, you don't have to go to the slides yet. We'll just talk briefly. So the concept is that that no single logo can encapsulate Los Angeles.
They're so unique.
Right, they're so unique. What do you guys think about this idea that they have 20? Not only do they have 26 logos, but they're all interactive, moving logos at the same time. What do you guys think about the concept of doing that?
I mean, that's a cool idea. It's artsy, and it's not really been done before, I don't think. So that idea is cool, but I still think they should have chosen one specific one to represent the whole thing. You could still have the 26, but have one outstanding one.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I know, I guess they're trying to go they're trendy of 2020 style of animation GIF.
And everything
Right.
is animation now.
Yeah. It's just each logo is kind of representing their own personality.
Yeah.
Not like LA. So
Right.
it's kind of hard to understand. Okay, that's LA, but
Right.
not LA.
Yeah, we should have said that. They were all designed by different, and we'll get into that when we get to our favorite ones, but they were all designed by Paralympics athletes, former Olympic athletes. Reese Witherspoon was in there, Billie Eilish was in there.
The ideas.
Los Angeles
but I guess
celebrities.
they paired with.
Right, they pair with designers. So, okay, we'll go ahead and go to the slides now, because to go off Natalie's thought of having one logo, this logo that they had for the bid was really nice. I mean, it reminds me of LA. I don't know why. There's probably some reason why it reminds me of LA, but it does. I like the lines coming from the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The font is nice. There's nothing wrong with this logo as being the main logo, but they chose not to go with it. What do you guys think about the logo that they apparently just have scrapped at this point, I think?
It could be because of the shape of from my standpoint, it could be a woman
Yeah,
shape. So
for sure.
that could be one of the problem because
Honestly, you can't really tell.
You can't tell, but yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
it's kind of more. I see more feminine.
She looks like
Yeah.
a butterfly.
Yeah.
What's
Right.
the swoosh behind her is kind of
like
strange.
a
It feels like
flying,
she's letting something go, almost
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Rather
the
than
bottom,
wings.
the font and the I wish that was the official one.
Yeah.
That bottom part.
It looks very modern plus sporty, to
Yeah.
me. And I think that's cool. But then we have the new logo. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that gradient is just so basic. It's they could have done something
I agree
cooler.
with that. Yeah. Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
now I see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have the new logo, which has been playing if you're looking at the slides. It is, I mean, I don't really know exactly they're all
how
the
do you
logos
print
in
that?
one.
You can't print it.
I mean, there are still images, so we'll already go to the next slide. Let's look at. So here, these are not all of the images, but these are a lot of the images, and yeah, as you can see, each one is very, very different. But each is an A. Although there is the Japanese one, which I didn't know was an A, but Lisa.
Yeah, I guess because of the Japanese letter,
Right.
they write it down differently and pronounce it's different too. But
Right. It was cool how they brought in some of the different, you see the bottom right, kind of that South Americans seem to have, to me, probably influence, or maybe, I don't even know. I remember we looked at it
a
more. We were
Moroccan?
almost like that, yeah, actually. More than South American. And some different types of cultures as well throughout. There was this one too, which reminded me of not American, but it's not in language. But anyways,
Yeah.
do you want to go to the best? Do you want to go to our favorites, or do you guys want to just jump into those ones? Okay, let's do it. So here are two of our favorites. It was actually kind of difficult to pick our favorites because there were so many, but also because a lot of them are very bad.
Yeah. Surprisingly,
To be
for
honest.
such an artsy city, they weren't very creative.
Yeah.
Very basic.
I think the ones that tried to be very creative weren't related enough on brand for the Olympics. That was
Yeah.
or Los Angeles. I was like, oh, this really grabs me. There were some. If we go back to the last slide, the top left, that one was very creative and very weird. But also, I didn't think, oh, this reminds me of the Olympics, at all.
Yeah.
So I think the ones that we picked were kind of, to me, they still stayed on brand for the Olympics a little bit, to an extent.
But some of them are just bizarre, and that's
They
why
are.
I don't.
We'll
really
see them.
understand.
We'll see the first, and even the first one we picked. See, I picked this one as one of my favorites because it reminds me of sports, like a logo for a sports team, and that's on. Also, this the guy I was looking up these people as it's Ezra Fresh. I spelled his name wrong, but sorry about that, Ezra Fresh. I don't even know how to say his name, but anyways, he's like a kid. He's like 15 years old, and but I just like the idea of like it reminds me of sports when I look at the Jaguar. I guess.
I also like
And
the detail, the
yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
Like I see like a little
Palm tree.
like, palm trees or like a
There's goggles on there.
Yeah.
For the water. Yep. And then the next one, it looks like water. It definitely reminds me of LA.
I love that one because it's just got the motion of like moving forward type of thing. It has nice color scheme to it. It just those colors are also just very like modern. Reminds me of LA too. And the
I
animation.
also think that in terms of just the color itself, or just the font itself, it's probably the most. It
matches
fits the
well.
best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
matches
Like if there was to
yeah.
be one, that's the one that fits the best out of all the ones we saw, probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's move on to the next two best. And Reese Witherspoon's, these are two people that you will probably know. Reese Witherspoon designed the one on the left. And if this one was flat, I would be basically perfect for me. I love it. It reminds me so much of LA when I look at the picture. Just the gold, the shiny. It reminds me of the Walk of Fame or whatever, and just like arts in general and like celebrities' life, I guess. So
Just a weird animation though, like how it starts with that weird like
yeah.
arch thing.
Oh no, that's
That's the ending.
That's the ending of another one. Yeah. I
Oh, the ending of
GIF.
another. Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Okay. So yeah. So don't
Okay.
don't yeah.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
not too bad then. It's nice and very glam.
Very
It's cool.
glam.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, it looks more feminine though too.
It does. You're right.
Feminine and
Agreed.
like the 3D style that people are doing now too, so it's cool.
It does remind me a little tiny bit of word art, like on
I
Google
can see
Word. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
A little bit. Like the shapes are just too, but the color makes it a little bit more dynamic, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex Morgan's obviously gold medalist in soccer. She used. So you were talking about what you don't like about this one.
Yeah, like the way how they like, I don't know. Instead of like to the left, it could be to the right.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah, and
bit
the
more
fact that
like-
it goes over the 8 too
Yeah.
is like
Because I guess because of the inside of the illustration that has inside,
Yeah.
it kind of bothering my eyes. I
Yeah.
guess the angles, like.
No, I can definitely. I
Yeah.
100% see it. Right when you start saying it. And I also she picked the soccer field in the middle, which I thought was cool. Like I like the idea of them bringing in sports into these.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's like the Olympics. That's what they're doing. Other than like bringing people together, like, I feel like the Olympics like bringing people together, sports like
Right.
pretty much, and like cross nationalities, of course. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you
The
for
A by
sure.
itself is cool, but in
Agreed.
combination with the logo is
Yeah.
could be better.
Yeah.
The A by itself reminds me of, I agree with you, it goes the wrong way, but if the A by itself, you just take the shape of the A, it
If
reminds
they had just done it flat, they could have done it flat
Yeah.
coming out at you
Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of like an angle.
and there's so much 3D to that too, it's like, it seems like too much.
It's a lot.
I do like all the animations, like how they usually pop, how this one popped up was really cool, I thought.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's move on to the bad ones, and there are lots, these are only 4, so, and the first one is by Muhammad, Olympic fencing medalist, I'm not gonna try. Muhammad. It's too long. I like the light peeking through, and we talked about this before. How we like the concept of the key
Yeah.
and the door, but ultimately,
Why? Well, why? Like, why'd they do that? You know? It's
yeah, like key to
what
the
is
city
the
type
concept?
thing. Yeah, but the A doesn't.
Because
it
the
doesn't
concept
work.
itself is nice. It's just how they create it. It's like a little too simple.
Yeah,
They could be done a little bit
It
more
does.
like a differently.
Yeah.
right. It. But then the one on the right. I mean, this is for sure the worst one for me.
Yeah.
Lily Singh just. I don't know if you
I
guys know
love
much
the
about
way-
Lily Singh, but she misses on everything. She
I love
misses
the
on this logo,
outro
too.
of the animation. It's just like goodbye, just collapses. Goodbye.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like
And the colors, like what?
it's so childish. It reminds me of like a report card, like a sticker on a report card that says A,
Post-it
like in
notes.
2nd grade.
Yeah,
and
like the
post-it notes.
school.
True,
Like I was
post-it notes.
saying.
Bizarre.
Very schooly, very childish, and like just not a good look. The font
Yeah.
is very boring, even if you just, which you don't really get a look at the font because it's layered. Like it's just such a weird.
Yeah, gradient is
Not good.
very tasteful.
No.
You should use only 2 colorings.
Yeah,
that's,
like, way too many.
When the gradient even changes for each A,
Yeah,
like
it does.
it's
Yeah.
orange or red, then that's the worst one for me easily. Although this one on the left, I really
No, I
don't.
think that's the worst.
I really don't like that one either.
Like, what is that?
The animation is so strange. Also, is it supposed to be metal? Like
metal.
like
Looks
yeah,
like-
liquid metal essentially.
It's not cute.
Yeah, it's not. It's really not good.
Like industry, like manufacturer.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
That
make
doesn't
sense.
match the tone of this Olympics at all.
No.
It's supposed to be fun, creative,
Right.
vibrant,
Yeah.
and then
Like-
it's just like gross, oily metal. Like, what is that?
Yeah, I don't know. And then Billie Eilish, we mentioned that there were some that you'll know. The reason I don't like the Billie Eilish one is because it reminds me of New Balance, and for
definitely.
sure. And also, she just used the green and black from her hair color, and just made it into the animation. I think that's so weird that she brought
Yeah.
that much of her personal self into what is supposed to be an Olympic
For the
icon.
city, yeah.
I thought that was lame. But what do you guys think about the actual design of the A in the animation?
I don't
Like,
but
like,
Oh, you will flip it?
I will flip it.
Yeah.
The direction.
I
Like,
guess
Bring it
it
in.
makes you think like, okay, it's going forward. So
Yeah,
if
can
you
you read
flipped
left to
it, yeah, I could see.
But,
just
but,
like it-
with the animation, it feels like it should come in and then go, you know what I'm saying? Like flipped.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cause like a motion, like going faster, like a running, but then like I don't know, like the angle is kind of the problem.
It's too much.
Or,
Too
like,
angled.
could be,
There's a lot.
yeah.
I know we're at 10 minutes, but we're going to go over really quick. We're just talking about how the last Los Angeles Olympics was in 1984.
Billie Eilish looked like. Is
And, wait, what?
that her like.
Oh,
swoosh
the
thing?
motion. You're right.
Yeah,
Actually, it
what's
kind of
the
did.
left
Yeah, so that's the old logo. They should have. I don't look. I agree. I think 26 was just too much. I think 26. The idea was cool, and if you want to have a story behind each one, cool, and use those in some way. But I agree. They needed to have one that was like a staple logo.
Yeah.
They it's disappointing that they're not going to have this basically for this Olympics. If nothing changes. I mean, they have 8 years, so something
Right.
obviously could change. This video could be meaningless in 2 years.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
I wish they had something that they could say, okay, this is like branded as this, and it doesn't really feel like we have that, which is
Yeah.
kind of disappointing.
A
But
little
wh-
strange.
what do you guys think about this? Like, what do you guys think about them changing the old one to the new one with the
I think
gradients?
like it's gonna remind me like all like like company trying to refresh their logo is kind of
Right.
type of things.
That's fair.
But then it's
Instagram.
nicer.
It doesn't.
But-
And, I agree.
yeah.
It doesn't remember the
Why
Instagram. gradient.
Instagram? I mean, I guess
You get a little bit
LA
more
is-
blue in this, but other than that,
Yeah.
it's still very.
It's LA, Instagram, like I get
Yeah.
it, but then you have the gradient with the colors below looks so bad.
Yeah,
It
that's one thing I
completely
thought of.
clashes.
That's one thing I
Like,
thought of when I
At
saw
least
this.
the one on the left, they somewhat.
Yeah,
I think it almost used.
they
the
might
same
have been
color,
pulled. They might have been pulled straight up. Yeah, I think they
But
might have.
that is just like very.
That's actually a very good point. That makes it less work less.
And it looked like I just realized that the yellow. Did they change the yellow and orange?
Yeah, they like. Or
On these two pictures, they're definitely changed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did.
I wouldn't be surprised, and because also when I always see this, and I think you're right, they probably did pull it from the ring straight up. These always look very pale, and I don't remember the Olympics being as pale as the current day Olympics being as pale as they are in the 1984 icon, or the logo, if that makes sense. So I think they did slightly change the colors, is what I'm thinking.
And it's
Made
weird
them
that
bolder.
like the gradients are switched from the letters and the graphic above.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
strange.
They should
Yeah.
do like the same way.
Yeah. Or just not do a gradient on the words. That
Yeah,
also
I like
would
the
work.
font. I feel
Yeah.
like they could have done so much.
Anyways, that's not even the real logo. That's just one that someone made. So it's
Oh,
just a
okay.
concept. I thought it was cool because they
Yeah.
took from the old one. But I like that old 1984 logo. I don't know, but maybe it's because I have seen stuff from 1984 Olympics, and I always have thought that the branding behind it was cool. Which we were going to talk about the branding, but we're already running kind of long. So we'll wrap it up with that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Any last thoughts about the logos? 2028. Only 8 years until you have to see it. Until you get to see it on
Maybe
TV.
we'll design some of our own and then
Just
it'll be
post
nicer.
There
Yeah,
we
make
go.
the standard logo.
Yeah,
For the
exactly.
2028 Olympics. Okay, with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. From me, Lisa, Natalie, thank you guys. And we will, don't forget to hit subscribe. Wow, sorry. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like, we appreciate you. See you guys next time. Peace.